Good morning. I'm out walking the dogs right now at the little local park and doing that a little bit before I go out for my morning exercise because it's cool enough outside right now. It is, Las Vegas area gets really hot right now in the summer's time. So, yeah, just trying to get them out, have a little bit of fun. It is 6:30, so I woke up a little bit later this morning, but I also went to bed very late. So, I have been doing research the last couple days, lots of research, reading articles, little points out of books, and watching lots of videos, especially the GNC network on YouTube. Been super helpful in trying to determine what kind of cycling discipline I want to train in and get better at. And there's a few of them. There's 4 or 5 different disciplines. One of them that kind of seems more appealing at this point is time trials. I really like the team aspect and being able to drift and all the techniques that are involved. But on another side of things, time trials, it keeps getting referred to as like the dark art of biking, kind of like mastering the dark art of music. And that's what I've gotten into there. And in no way am I looking at it in a form of it's dark art and I need to be Harry Potter, but I just kind of think it sounds fun. It essentially, time trials is you alone on the bike, and they do have team trials as well, but TT a lot of times is just you alone on the bike against yourself, and you're just trying to get across a line at a specific time. So they can range anywhere from short 5K races. Hold on, come on guys. They can range anywhere from a short 5K race up to 100 miles plus, and it looks and sounds lots of fun. So in that one, you don't have to concentrate as much about being lean. They actually have quite a bit of muscle mass, and a little bit more build on the upper body. Something that's a bigger deal in that sport is drag coefficiency. So having super streamlined bikes, the really pretty inexpensive bikes, the most expensive bikes seem to be TT bikes. So that's one thing that kind of has me turned off about it, because I definitely don't have the money for that. Right now I'm riding a bike setup with extras and such that, is somewhere of upwards of, $2,800 or $32, something like that, with some extras on it, which for me is an amazingly nice bike. Most expensive bike I owned prior to that was maybe $1,000 bike, and I've been biking for a long time in different disciplines. So yeah, that kind of turned me off. But what I want to do is, I think a lot of things are obtainable without owning the biggest and the best equipment. And if I can make myself, at least compete and get around top 10s at some of these races with inferior equipment, then maybe I can pick up some sponsorships, and by that time, obviously it becomes affordable because someone's assisting me with it, and then I can move up to pro quality gear or something. So anyway, I want to be able to use the equipment I have now, and that's kind of what my research has found. Okay, so I wanted to talk about something I forgot to mention, was a well-being diary, and I'm keeping this well-being diary that keeps track of a few different things, so I can track my progress on more than just an exercise scale. So essentially what this is every day I have to enter in what I eat, and I enter this just in the notepad in my iPhone, and it consists of, pretty specific, I ate 1 banana, 2 cups of oatmeal, half of a chicken breast, that kind of thing. I'll get put into this little database. It also includes drinks if I have a glass of wine in the evening, something like that. And then I'm also tracking my food and my steps in the Up app, and that's by Jawbone. Anyway, it's a free app, and if you have a newer phone, you don't need one of these little things, but that's just, a little step and sleep tracker. And I'm doing that because I have a little support group on there that, some friends that I track with. But that does calorie intake. So I'm always aiming to stay at least 1,000, but about 1,500 calories below my daily, or what's suggested for the male at my age and height, and with my combined exercise and such. So yeah, that's where the weight loss happens. So I track the food, I track exercise. If I work out for a 5-mile run, I'll put 5 miles, followed by whatever 30 minutes of yoga. So I'll put down daily what my actual exercise is and my level of exercise. So if it was an easy run, then I'll put easy. If it was really strenuous, then I'll put that, just so I have an idea of how hard I'm pushing myself. Because then I have an idea of how sore I might be the next day and what kind of foods are helping me during recovery. Furthermore, in there I have mental drive for that particular day. How driven am I on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really driven. If I just feel like blah, I want to sit and watch TV today, and I don't do anything on the computer, which hasn't happened yet likely, but I would give that a 1. If it's a day that I'm just super productive and my juices are just flowing, my creative juices with music or, you know, writing articles, whatever I'm doing, I'd give that a 10. So anywhere in between there. It's the same thing on a scale 1 to 10 for my physical well-being. How do I feel that day? Maybe I'm sore from the day before the workout. Maybe I just feel bloated from an oversized meal I ate the night before, something like that. So 1 is I'm not feeling very good at all. Maybe I'm just, you know, it's totally distracting for the day. And 10 is I just feel fantastic and like I could go run a marathon. So there's that. And then the last thing is bathroom habits. So how many visits to the bathroom have I taken? You know, am I drinking enough water? How clear is my urine? That kind of thing. And how flatulence, how much have I, you know, had the fart or something like that. And it sounds really goofy, but it's actually, that way I can track, you know, what different foods are doing to me, because that's mainly just going to come from the foods if I'm eating dairy, that kind of stuff. And I can help, you know, control and make sure I stay steady and my body gets into habits and flows, just like, you know, my mental well-being needs to get into habits and flows. So that's my well-being diary. I just keep track of all that in my notes pad here on my iPhone in conjunction with the exercise and the food. The steps and sleep and stuff go into the Up app with Jawbone. So between the two, I keep track of everything. And I'm going to stay really stringent on the notes side of things. I plan to keep doing the Up app, hopefully indefinitely, or, you know, at least for the next year or so. But the notes pad, I'm just planning on doing for about the next month and a half, so I can see the difference. I started doing it before I started exercising, before I started eating really healthy, and that way I can look at, you know, how my mental drive, how my physical well-being, you know, the bathroom habits and stuff, how have they increased or decreased according to exercise habits and what I'm eating and that kind of thing. So that way I'm able to graph. It's not just like, yeah, I feel better when I exercise, because everyone says they feel better when they exercise. It's just a matter of doing it. But if I have an actual graph with numbers and stuff, then it'll help drive me that much more. I'm able to look back and say, hey, I very clearly was constantly down at like 2 and 3 in the physical and mental well-being areas when I was eating bad. And since then, I've gone up to here. My sleeping habits have changed like this, so maybe I'm awake for more hours of the day, which means I'm getting more done. And yeah, so I just got to track it all. I'm one of those people that likes statistics, so I'm all about statistics. That's what I'm doing. So okay, quickly, I know I'm going to have this question down in the comments, so let's squash this down in this vlog. People are going to say, I don't think he has his front teeth, and you'd be right. I actually do not have 2 of my front teeth, and that's because I was born without them. I did have my juvenile teeth, and when they fell out, I just never had adult teeth to replace them. It might sound uncommon, but supposedly it happens in 10 to 15% of American adults. So, and I do know quite a few people that have this. Most people, as you can imagine, are not open about it. But I do not have implants. I contemplated doing implants numerous times, but for the cost that they are, I would rather spend money on, you know, cycling equipment or world travel or things like that. So I think the prices come down pretty dramatically the last few years, so I'm actually contemplating getting it done again. But for now, I am cat's out of the bag. I don't really care what people think, and I think that's kind of should be an important trait here in cycling and with music and everything else, because if you are too concerned with what people think, then you know, you'll just get mind blocks. So yeah, do you, be yourself. I don't have teeth. Anyway, and I just, for the first time ever, decided to try KT tape. Now this stuff has been around for many years, but it got more of a debut. I believe it was back at the London Olympics, and then since then they kind of skyrocketed. So you've probably seen this stuff applied to people, And this is essentially what it looks like. You see I have it here on my leg, and actually apply it to my lower back here. Those are the two places that I was getting pain. So I just went to their YouTube channel. It has application methods for different kind of pains and soreness. That's how I found out how to apply it. And so I just did self-application, which you can imagine is a little bit harder when you're doing it on your back and such, because you actually stretch. It's not just a sticky tape or anything like that. And for my calf, it didn't seem to really make a difference at all. I don't feel any decrease in pain. But for my lower back, I'd say it decreased the pain and soreness by upwards of probably 50% of what it was. So anyway, it does feel a bit better. I don't know if I could justify the cost of it yet. It was like $16 for a roll of 20 strips or something like that. So only time will tell. You know, as I get more serious into training and I get more body soreness, I try different application methods. Maybe I have someone else apply it and it's more useful that way. But I'll keep trying it. As for now, yeah, KT tape, not too bad.